Historically, I've been what you'd call a good guy player. I've basically just collected various flavors of Imperial Guard and Space Marines. However, it always felt a bit wrong when I played against other Imperial armies, and I wanted a bad guy army, so those games would make more sense. I liked the idea of Iron Warriors, a no-nonsense Chaos Space Marine Legion themed around siege warfare. A friend of mine lent me Graham McNeil's Storm of Iron, one of the first Black Library books from a Chaos perspective, and that sealed it. With the recent Chaos goodness coming out of Games Workshop, I thought it'd be a great time to give some attention to one of my favorite armies. The idea of a Chaos army themed around practicality and not demonic magic weirdness really appealed to me. Packs with dark gods are cool and all, but they aren't really my speed. So first of all, I wanted to exclude most demonic stuff. Next, I wanted to focus on as much siege equipment as I could, so Havocs, Obliterators, and of course, Vindicators. The kit was pretty new at the time, and I was excited to utilize them. This heavy support would be backed up by mechanized infantry and rhinos, as well as some footbound troops, who would take any objectives after my heavy support ground the defense into dust. I avoided defilers as I wanted this army to be compact enough to carry on the go. The biggest challenges have been with Chaos's lack of support over the past few years. Their rules on the tabletop haven't been the most exciting or powerful, and the model range is pretty dated at this point. In some cases, I had to go to third-party options, like with my Obliterators, because I just couldn't stand the stock GW models. The other challenge is fitting variety into this army. Iron Warriors have pretty strict theming, so your choices are pretty limited unless you get creative. Unfortunately, with the new Traitor Legion's rules, they can't take marked units anymore, which limits the army even further. However, this balances with a bunch of really cool abilities, so I can accept that, even if it means some of my units aren't validated. Speaking of invalidated, my Tech Plague Marines are my favorite unit in the army. I wanted to take Plague Marines, who have been the undisputed kings of the Codex for years now, but I wanted to avoid any Nurgle theming. Instead, I mixed in a bunch of bits from the old Iron Hands Tactical Squad kit and made a 6 squad of cyborgs themed around a corrupted Tech Marine. The purple contrasts nicely with the yellow and makes them a little easier to tell apart at a distance. In-game, these guys were always durable as hell, soaking up tons of fire once they popped out of their Rhino. Next up, it would have to be the Vindicators. I kind of built the force around these. I love these stubby little siege tanks. They're intimidating on the tabletop, and while one may blow up and the other will get immobilized while facing the wrong direction, that third one will earn its keep. They're iconic for the army, I feel, and their huge caution-striped siege shields are an imposing sight to be sure. I've typically done very well with this army. It's a lot of tough units of Marines with special weapons and vehicles that get them where they need to go, and quickly. The heavy support slots are always crowded though, and the army as a whole doesn't have much to deal with aircraft. My strategies usually boil down to sending a horde of cultists out front to soak up fire and provide cover for the vehicles while my Vindicators get into range. At that point, my tanks pound the enemy positions and my Marine squads will jump out of their Rhinos and mop up anything left. If I want to mix things up, I'll toss in some Dreadnoughts as a distraction unit, or deep strike in some Terminators or Obliterators into the backfield to give my opponent something tough to worry about. This army tends to just kind of roll up the middle and do its damage there, so a flanking unit like that is really helpful. The army is also mostly built around 24-inch range weapons, so it can have trouble fighting armies that are fast and have lots of long-range shooting, like Dark Eldar. I'm excited for the future of this army. I've still got a handful of cultists and a Rhino or two lying around for them, but at the moment I'm pretty caught up on unpainted models. The new Traitor Legion rules have me excited to break them out though, and I can only imagine that new models aren't that far behind. I'll have to get creative with the rules for my Khorne Berserkers and Plague Marines, but I'll manage. I'd also like to expand the army's anti-air capabilities by adding a Hellblade fighter or maybe some other Forge World goodness to the army, but for now I'm just eagerly anticipating new toys for the 4th Legion. Hopefully, I won't have to wait too long to give them some much appreciated reinforcements. Thanks for watching my Iron Warriors overview. I know Chaos has some of the most devoted players in the game, so I'd love to hear about your armies. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Follow me on social media to see my armies grow, and I'll see y'all next time.